Hey, it's Chris with PhotoDabbler.com. In this tutorial, we are going to make another sports poster in Photoshop. So let's go and get started. New file, 16 by 20 inches, 300 resolution RGB color, black background, which will change sRGB color profile. Hit create, and this will create a new document. First off, as always, we will just unlock this background layer and let's add a gradient. So come down to your adjustment layers here and click on gradients, and this one we're going to go with a radial, and we are also going to change the color. So let's go into our basics and let's play around with these colors here. So this color here, we're going to make a kind of like a darker red, like so, and then this color here, we're going to pick this same color and just drop down into our black a little bit, like so, and we'll go ahead and hit OK, and then maybe let's turn dither on, and then let's scale this up just a little bit, maybe not that much, maybe about a 110. Okay, that looks good. And we'll go ahead and delete our layer mask, which we do not need. Okay, next up, let's add a new layer, and let's go into brushes. Now, if you don't have dust brushes, download some. You can get these. I'll put a link for these in the description. But it's dust brushes right here. Dust brushes from Envato Elements. Dust brush A07. Or something similar to this one. Maybe let's use the 8. Okay, and let's make our color white, and we're just going to kind of tap on the canvas to make some strokes, and we are not really being purposeful. We're just going to lay out some paint. So it's going to lay out our brush strokes, and for whatever reason my Photoshop is on super lagging, so I may have to restart. Alright, so once we have some paint laid out, and like I said, it really doesn't matter how you lay this stuff out. We're just using this to kind of add some texture to our background. I'm going to make a copy of this though, so if I hold down Alt and drag up, I'll make a copy, and I'll turn this one off for a backup. So the one layer here, let's go ahead and put this blend mode on subtract. Okay, and it kind of creates this look, which is pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to drag this copy layer down underneath everything. We might use that later, we might not. Alright, so this is the start of our background here, and let's go ahead and grab a new layer. Let's go to our pen tool, but this time let's use a freeform pen tool. Okay, so I haven't really used this a whole lot. Let's turn our fill to maybe this red. We can always change the color, it's not a big deal. Now this is another thing where it's not really super important how you're doing this, but basically we're just going to kind of drag our mouse and do some jaggeds. Okay, and that's going to fill that in as a shape, and then we'll come up here, do some more like so, and you can just be random, like it's just creating some weird shapes. Okay, it's not super important what they look like. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Okay, let's go ahead and select all of these. So click on your top one, hold down Shift, right click, and create, nope, not create clipping mask, Control Z, merge shapes is what I meant to hit. So merge shapes, and then on this one, let's put this on, let's see here, let's see what overlay does. Overlay, multiply, maybe it was. Okay, that's on multiply, and let's just kind of let's make a copy. Control J, and I think this is kind of what we're looking for here. Okay, so once we have these laid out, let's go ahead and just grab a type tool, T for type tool or click on it. And really my Photoshop is, I definitely need to restart this, but we'll try to get through. Montserrat is the font that I have loaded up now, but I do not want to use that one. Let's pick a font that is atmospheric. I'll leave a link in the description. This is the font that we used on yesterday's video. It's okay. We'll change our color to white, and then I'm just going to click right near the center, and this is just going to be for numbers. Control T, and let's scale this out about like so. And what we have going on here is we have this VA, which is your carrying, I think, or leading. I can't remember. It's the VA. It's the space in between your letters. Control T. Let's space this out a little bit bigger. Maybe like so. And let's hit our move tool and 3 dots, align to canvas in the center. There you go. Alright, I don't know if I want to use this font or not. Let's put it in the center. Maybe, we'll see what happens. Alright, so let's go to our fill and take our fill all the way down to 0. So just drag it. And then we're going to double click on the layer and add a stroke. So the stroke, or not a stroke, a bevel and emboss, excuse me. Alright, so let's reset this all to default. This is where we are here. We're going to just play around with it. Let's change our gloss contour to this little triple ring one. Okay, let's bring our depth up, and don't worry about what it's looking like now. It will fix itself here in a minute. Okay, so 376, direction up, inner bevel smooth, size is 59, and then we're going to have, because there's some jaggedness, we're going to have to take our soften up a little bit. Oh, 1 point did it? Maybe 2. Let's do 2. Okay, and we have our screen opacity at 50. We can make it brighter if we want. I think I want it brighter, but I think I'm going to change the color. So let's go into our color. And let's go into this red like so, and then maybe make it brighter like so, all the way maxed out at 100. Okay, and then our shadows, let's play around with that. I want some of that little smoke stuff to come through, so we'll say about a 16. Okay, so I think this will do it on our number. We'll go ahead and hit OK. And maybe I might want to stretch it. Let's hit Control or Command T. Hold down Shift and drag up. That'll elongate it a little bit. I think I like this a little bit better, like so. Let's see what it looks like. Maybe, maybe not. We may come back to this. Okay, so now we want to grab our player. So File, and Place Embedded. Okay, so once you have your player placed inside of that, we need to do a cutout. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this one. I'm just going to go ahead and rasterize them and go to our magic wand tool and make sure we have sample all layers turned off and do one little click. And this should cut them out pretty decently. I think it'll work okay. So if we go on our mask and hold down Alt or Option and click the mask, it's not perfect, but like I said, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. Let's go ahead and click on our mask, go to Filter, Other, Minimum, and then we'll do like 3.5 pixels, and that'll kind of smooth out some of these lines down here. See what it does. That looks okay. We still have some stuff going on in his hair, etc., but it's okay. We're not going to do anything with that. Let's grab a brush and get this little line out of there. It's like so, and then maybe we'll play around with this a little bit and see. Okay, if you go into your select and if you go into your select and mask and go and use your refine edge, it will turn out a lot nicer. However, when I use select and mask in this on this computer with a screen recorder, it will freeze up my computer for whatever reason. I don't know why. So this is going to be good enough for us for now. Let's right click, apply layer mask, and now we have our player. It needs to be a little bit smaller, Control T or Command T, whatever, and we'll size them down like so. Now we're just going to add some text on the top and on the bottom, and then maybe like a basketball or something here. Let's go and grab our type tool, and this time we can leave it on atmospheric, is fine. Change our color back to white, and we'll go around the center, and we'll put this as Laurel High School, something like so. And let's go ahead, we'll center it up after we add some of this. In this box here, the VA, enter like 450. And maybe 600. Okay, that looks okay. And then we'll go ahead and center it like so. And this time I'm going to make a copy, hold down Alt, drag up, double click on that, 2023-2024, enter, Control T, and we'll just move it down into position. We'll just say like here. Maybe like so. Alright, so I'm not a big fan of this font. It's too thick. Let's go into Montserrat, and then let's go with light. Okay, Montserrat light on that one, and then Montserrat maybe thin, extra light, regular. Okay, Montserrat regular. I think we'll do Montserrat regular on both of these, and then be done with this font. Okay, alright, so let's go ahead, and underneath we will add another type layer down here, and we're just going to type out basketball, B-A-S-K-E-T-B-A-L-L, enter, and then let's make sure we're in the center here, and then this time let's go with something a little bit bolder, and then let's change this to maybe like 1100, see what happens. Maybe a little bit more, let's do 1400. I think that will do it. Okay. Alright, so this is kind of the basis. Now we can just kind of tweak things out. So let's go above, one layer above all of our background. Let's just group all these. Okay, so group, and we'll just call this BG elements, or whatever you want to call it. BG elements. Alright, so above this, go into your new layers. Let's grab a pattern, and I want to use, let's see here. If you don't have these legacy patterns and more, go up to Window, Patterns, click your little three dots up here, and grab legacy patterns and more, and you'll have a bunch more patterns to work with. Or you can upload your own, however you want to do it. But legacy patterns and more, and then in legacy patterns, fibers, maybe this fibers one, but let's make it bigger, like 560, 583 will work. Okay, so, and you can play around with your settings here. But I want to create clipping mask. Is that going to work? That's negative. That's a negative. Release clipping mask. Let's drag this inside, maybe. Okay, that one's okay. Now I want to add another pattern, and this time let's use our legacy patterns and more, the 2019 patterns. Let's go into dirt and get this cracks one, and we can play around with this also. Maybe we'll leave this one on 100. Soft light. Oh, vivid light looks pretty neat. We'll do vivid light and then just bring the... I might change this one to vivid light too. Okay, so vivid light 51 and on both those patterns. Alright. So that is most of it. Now, this is a little trick that we're going to do here. Let's go on to basketball and let's grab, we could grab a rectangle or just grab the rectangular marquee tool. And I'm just going to do a rectangle like so. And then we'll just hit Alt, whoops, we need a new layer. Make sure you're on a new layer, Alt Delete. And Control D or Command D. And then let's go ahead and add some gradient overlay to this, like so. I have this weird, I don't even know what I was doing last time. I think I was trying to make some sort of like court. Select this blue, select this. I don't understand, sometimes my gradient just doesn't work out right. Is that what I want? I think that's what I want. And then we'll hit Control and left bracket or Command left bracket to drag it underneath. Let's make a copy, Control J or Command J, Control or Command T. Let's scoot this into about right here and then hold down Shift and we'll drag it a little bit smaller, maybe like so, and then come down. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Let's see what that looks like. I think that will work. And then this first rectangle, I need to make this smaller too. So Control T, but hold down Shift while you're dragging, like so. I think this is okay. And yeah, that will work. Let's grab that one smoke layer that we didn't use anything with. We'll turn it back on and then select it, and then let's move it all the way to the very tippy top of everything. Control Shift right bracket. Okay, and then let's grab a mask. Hit B for our brush. Do we have our soft round one? Let's just make it big, and we're just gonna get rid of all this. We don't need it. Okay, I think this is what we want here, and we'll just hit Apply Layer Mask and Control T, and we'll just scoot it down a little bit. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. It may be something like so. Let's make a copy, Control J, Control T, right click, flip horizontal. Okay, I think this will work. And we'll just go ahead and merge these, Control E or Command E, however you want to say it. And now let's add some color to that smoke. So we could do a color overlay on it, or you can just grab a hue saturation and clip it, hit colorize, go into the blues, bring your saturation up, and then anytime you have white, you normally have to go to the left to make the color show. So maybe something like so. Alright, and then I'm just going to merge these together. So Control Command E, and we're done with this much of it. Now let's go up to a very tippy top, find our basketball guy. Go underneath him, new layer with the brush. Let's grab a smoke brush again. I like this number 8. I like this number 8. Let's grab this red, maybe a little bit brighter, and maybe not. That was totally not the right move. Alright, let's color overlay. Color overlay. Let's just go to white. Let's play around with it a little bit. Alright, and let's go ahead, rasterize this layer style, and let's do a little bit of Gaussian blur to it. Filter blur, Gaussian blur, I don't know. 44.3 will be fine, and we'll hit that. Alright, so a couple more things and then we're gonna do something weird. Okay, let's grab an ellipse tool. And the color doesn't matter on this. Hold down shift for a perfect circle, and we'll put this about maybe right like so. And let's click on the path. Let's make sure it's active. We're going to hit our type tool, and let's, when it turns to a squiggle, we can go ahead and type out some text. Backspace, home of the wild cats. Okay. Let's put this on about a 200. Enter. Why are you not working? There you go. Alright, home of the wildcats. And we can go maybe 400. Is that going to put it all the way around? That's close enough. Okay. So this ellipse here we can just turn off. Let's grab our text, Control or Command T, and then let's just rotate it. Hold down Shift and it'll go in 45s. I think that will work. Control T, let's drag this over like so. Do I like it? Probably not. Control T, let's bring it back over here. Hold down Shift and your left bracket, moving it over, and we'll see if this is okay. Alright, I think this will work. Now let's grab a basketball. So File, Place Embedded. Okay, so just download a basketball from somewhere. I'm not sure where this came from. It was just in my folder. Control T. We're going to make it smaller. We're going to put it kind of so it's up against the text a little bit. I don't know. Alright. And then we can Control T. Let's scoot this out some more. And something like so, and then we're going to just bring down the opacity of the basketball. Like so. Alright. So that's everything. Let's go to the very top layer. This is where we're going to get weird. We're going to get weird. Alright. Very top layer, Control Shift Alt E, or a Command Option Shift E is going to merge everything into one layer. Now, we're going to take a hue saturation layer. So, hue saturation. We're just going to clip it to the layer that we just made. We're going to clip it. We're going to hit Colorize. We're going to go a little bit darker. We're going to get into some kind of funky color here. This one right here. Now pay no attention to what it looks like now, because it's going to do some weird cool stuff here in a minute. Okay, so we have that. Now let's merge these two together. Control or Command E. Okay, and now we're going to take this layer right here that we just did, or not. We're going to go to Filter, we're going to go to Blur Gallery, and then we're going to go to a thing called Path Blur. Okay, path blur. Now, one warning. One warning is this. This may blow up my computer for the last time. Okay, so we're going to make one line straight up and down. We're going to drag this middle point to about almost to his body. Okay, then we're going to add another point down here. Drag up straight. If you click once, you see what happens. You need to click twice. Alright, drag this center point into his body like so. Okay, right about here. Now we're going to turn off centered blur. Okay, then we're going to crank this speed up to about 240, and then I'm going to go take a walk for about an hour because that's how long it's going to take for this to blur out on the, well, that's way too much. Maybe 188. So it's on 188, no taper, turn the center blur off, and then we could do high quality, and we can hit OK. We'll hit OK, and then I'm for real gonna go take a walk because it looks like it's gonna start off fine, but then it takes like 20 minutes. So I'll be back. Okay, so once it is all blurred, we can go down and grab our basketball player and hit Control Shift right bracket. That'll bring them up to the top like so. That was a lot of work just to get this effect, but I think it looks really cool. Alright, we need to add some shadows underneath him, and we can just do the old tricky way of a new layer underneath, grab a brush, B for brush, and let's grab just a soft round brush. We'll squish it, whoops, we'll squish it a little bit, squish it like so, and we can just make sure we're on black, so D, and we'll just go bam, and maybe bam right here. Bring our opacity down a little bit like that, and maybe we'll add a little bit more like so. Okay, those aren't the greatest shadows, but you get the idea. You can play around with it as you wish. Okay, now above our little blurred layer, let's call this blur BG. Let's bring our basketball back up like so. Maybe this needs to go up to the top, Control Shift right bracket like so. And then do we want to add our Laurel High School 2024? Let's grab both of these, Control Shift right bracket up to the top like so. I think this looks pretty neat. And Home of the Wildcats, I'm just going to leave that blurred like so. Let's go underneath our player again. Let's add some more smoke. Let's grab Dust Brush A08 and make sure we're on white. Maybe let's select this color here, make it a little bit brighter and whiter. We'll do a little bit more like so. I think that looks fine and dandy like so. And what else do we want to do to this? I think we're probably pretty close to done. Let's turn everything orange. Let's go to our blur background layer, hit hue saturation, and we're gonna clip it, colorize, saturation up, lightness down. Let's get into something brown-ish, orangish. Play around with it like so. I think this will work. And then on our hue saturation layer mask, let's grab, we could do a gradient, or we could just grab a soft round brush again and make sure we're on black, and we'll just kind of paint in like so. And let's bring our flow down to about 20 and just kind of paint in a little bit transition-ish. I don't know if I like that. Let's just delete that. I think it was okay how it was all blue. Okay, now do we want to add a name? Let's go up to the very top. Let's grab a rectangle tool and kind of go about like so. That's filled, and let's add a type tool, and you got to watch because of this, all this text, this 99 right here, it won't let you click on it or you're going to adjust the 99. So let's just go to the bottom and we'll make his name, let's just say it's Emmett. I would say Smith, but Emmett James. We'll just say Emmett James. Control T, or right click, rotate 90 counterclockwise, and we'll bring this over into our rectangle. Hold down Alt, let's drag it up so it fits in the rectangle. Something like so. I think this kind of messed everything up. I don't like it. Control T. Let's play with the rectangle. Let's make, let's double click on it. Let's do some gradient overlay to it. I think this might work. And then let's grab our Control T on this one, hold down Shift, let's drag it all the way up like so, and we'll grab both of these guys and go underneath Laurel High School. I don't really necessarily like it. Let's Control J that rectangle, Control T, let's hold down Alt. Let's make another rectangle and see if it changes my mind, and then if not, we'll just delete it all. Maybe about right, like so. And then let's put a drop shadow on this guy. Reverse the gradient. Let's see what that looks like first. Kind of looks like one of them little grocery store things. I don't like it. I don't like it. Let's reset the default. Let's drag this down a little bit. Maybe like so. Maybe this will work. Let's go on our rectangle. Let's grab a mask and let's grab a brush. Yeah, let's just kind of fade this in a little bit. Maybe like so. Alright, I think we're going to leave it like that, and then let's grab our other rectangle, Control T, hold down Shift, and we'll just drag this under so it's kind of like so. I don't really necessarily like it, but that's okay. Let's go up to our very top. Let's grab a new layer, and then we have our brush tool already selected. Let's squish it about like so, and then let's grab some kind of reddish color, maybe like so, and hold down Shift and hit your arrow key. It'll rotate it, and then hit your right bracket to make it bigger. Like so, maybe about right here, and we're just going to do one little boom. After we bring our flow back up to 100, we're going to do one little boom here, and make our brush smaller, one little boom here, and now let's change our color to something brighter, and maybe like a yellowish orange. Maybe even deeper color than that. How about this? Let's make our brush smaller, and we'll just go boom, boom, maybe a couple booms. Okay, so we have these two. Now let's take this layer and go to Filter, Liquify. And let's take our time this time and just move it up a little bit. Push it down. A little bit more. And hit OK. That kind of looks like Nike too much, but that's alright. Linear dodge. Linear light. White and screen. Oh, that is pretty cool on the letters. Color dodge, huh? Interesting. Interesting effect. Interesting effect you just did there. I think I'm just gonna get rid of all that. I like up here. It's pretty cool. Let's bring our flow down and just barely tap on these little letters like so. Okay, let's go ahead and apply layer mask, and then we're going to be destructive. Let's do a hue saturation to these, colorize, clip. You can make your own changes and play around with it some more, but I don't want this thing to last 2 hours. Let's go to our Emma James text and our two rectangles. Control T, and let's move these up a little bit more. Maybe like so. Alright, and then we still need to add a little bit of texture to this blur BG. So maybe let's do the pattern again, that cracked pattern. Son of a man. Alright, this dirt. I hit OK, and I think I like it. I think I like how this ended up. Minus that, the name text is horrible. Let's add more smoke. Or we could add some lightning. I haven't used lightning in a long time. Let's add some lightning. Let's see, 30 Storm Lightning Photoshop stamp brushes. Number 6. Let's change our colors. DX. Let's make this bigger and go wabam. What's up? Flow's only 43%. Let's do flow 100, and let's rotate this around like so, and we'll go bam. What's up? Like so. Lightning is cool. I think I'm gonna redo that because this one. Do that one, and then let's come up here, rotate. If you hold shift and your arrow keys, it flips around a lot faster. Alright, I may or may not like this, I don't know. I think it's cool. It's too much blue. It's all blue, basically, all blue colors and a little bit of orange, except for his reds. What if we go under his shoe and grab a brush? And let's put this on. Let's just do a linear dodge add and make our brush smaller. Okay, like this is really getting. Maybe. Let's go on these rectangles really quickly or really slow, either however you think this video is going. Let's go on the rectangle 1 copy. This is the top one, right? Okay, so let's go on this one. Let's add a mask and gradient overlay, drop shadow. Okay, so our mask should be okay. Let's grab I think I have some crack brushes, not like the drug crack, but cracks brushes. Let's see. Crosshatch, rakes, 60 dust, long ink strokes, 45 cracks, Photoshop stamp brushes. That one. This one might work. Let's go and do a couple bams like this. And then a couple bams like this on that one. I think that's cool. And then let's go on to our other. Okay, this might be helping. This might be helping. Might be helping, might not be. Okay, we're going to leave it at this. So we're going to call this our final. Control-Shift-Alt-E, merge everything together. And we could take this into Camera Raw. You should do that anyways when you're all finished, or think you're all finished. Go to Filter, Camera Raw, just merge everything together into one layer. And then you can play around in Camera Raw and maybe add some grit and some grain and some vignettes and play around with the colors. See, everything's on the dark side, so maybe let's hit auto, see what it does. There's no shame in hitting auto because it normally does a really good job. Okay, so auto did that. Our whites are too white. Let's bring them down. Our blacks are good. What if we add a bunch of texture and clarity? You can get away with this on a male player because it may add some grit. Oh, look at that cutout. That's horrible. And oh, that's his arm. And that cutout right there. That's terrible. So make sure you take your time when you're masking. Okay, I think we're just going to be done. Hit OK. That's the before the Camera Raw. This is going to be the after. And we can dial the opacity down a little bit, all the way before. Okay, just a little. Alright, so that's that. Let's go to View, Window, View Guides, New Guide Layout. And let's make sure our margin is 0.125 inch. Tab 0.125 inch, 0.125 inch, 0.125 inch, and that will get our bleed, and we can just turn these off. Okay, so just making sure that just in case everything is within reason. I think that'll be okay, and we'll just hit OK. Alright, maybe let's add some more. Since we got our crack brush out, we can just add some cracks. Okay, Control H will hide your guides. I think we're done. Let's go ahead and call it a day. File, save a copy, or file save. Alright, so that's another sports poster tutorial. Hope you learned something. If you did, please leave a comment, subscribe, and like, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.